Charles, did you watch the Grammys last night?
I did. And I was watching my show.
I know I
I,
did both. I taped both.
I,
I'll tell you how I watched. I watched it. I
I
curate.
I caught some of the conversation today. I caught the conversation about my first concern was honestly about Michael Render. I was concerned about Killer Mike. I don't ever want to see a brother behind bars or in handcuffs. And so to have him after such an amazing night or during such an amazing night get arrested, I was deeply concerned about that. And so
Do you know
that
what?
was
Do you know what happened? Because I'm reading all the stories. I still don't know why they arrested him.
definitively, I am not aware. From what I understand, there was a scuffle at some point during the evening earlier. I'm not sure whether it was in crypto or outside, but apparently it was some sort of minor fight or altercation that took place. And what I can say is that what we know is that he was arrested for a misdemeanor or charged with a misdemeanor, which I can tell you means that it really wasn't that serious,
So do they
whatever
need
it
to put
was.
you in handcuffs? Like I just feel like a lot of this is it feels very, and I'm not a huge Killer Mike, and just for his politics and some of
Well,
the things that how he moves with money and things with our community. Like I don't know if he, and I'm not questioning that. I just don't like that when people have it because there's some discretion among the officers, right? You don't have to put them in handcuffs, do you? Aren't we innocent until proven guilty? You don't have to humiliate somebody on the night that they win a Grammy. You don't have to, do you?
you don't have to, but generally speaking, the idea that there are two sides to that. It is ultimately up to the discretion of the officers, but they put Donald Trump in handcuffs at one point. I
We
mean,
did.
he
Did we see
before
it? I didn't remember seeing him in the
we didn't
handcuffs.
see it. We didn't see it, but
Did they push his head in
but
extra
that's
hard? I don't.
but that's
Do you
that's
remember? I don't
neither.
see. I didn't see
See,
video.
whether we saw it is not the fault of the police who did it or Donald Trump. That's
Okay,
it. So,
and the
but
charges
my
against
point
Trump was
is,
way greater than some misdemeanor thing. But they also
but
get
they were,
Donald
but they
Trump.
weren't,
Hold on. Donald Trump got to turn himself in. I remember him
but
showing up on one of the 91 indictments. He got
but
to show up.
but
Why not
also
give Michael Render that?
let me give let me give you let me give you a different perspective in terms of the cuffs. The turning himself in is a different thing. But I'm glad you brought that up. In terms of the cuffs, technically speaking, he was being investigated, or there was probable cause for his arrest that was connected to a physical act of violence. And so, arguably, because of that, that would justify putting handcuffs on. Now, for you or me, I'm going to be very honest. I understand someone saying, "Look, I'm at the Grammys. I just won 3 Grammys. Why am I looking to get into a fight with some police officers?" But stranger things have happened.
Okay.
And to your second point,
Yeah.
I think that's the problem when you become sort of like when you have the level of discretion that you do in terms of making these types of decisions. It gets to be a thing where it's like, well, why not this in this situation, and why not that in that situation? There has, as speaking as a former prosecutor, I can tell you there are spaces where people are given an opportunity to turn themselves in, and spaces where they're not, and that is dictated by a whole bunch of things. But at the end of the day, it's the discretion of law enforcement.
Right.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that race and the nature of an offense does not necessarily play a factor. What I will say is, since having left the DA's office, there have been instances where I've represented someone who was charged with a crime, who wasn't a celebrity, who wasn't sort of high profile or high society, who had not won 3 Grammys. And the police gave me the option of when my client would be able to turn himself in. So I don't want people to
That's all
sort
I'm
of,
saying. And let me
yeah,
just be
that
clear.
happens.
As Yvette says in Nubia, who gives a ish about Killer Mike, who supported Brian Kemp over Stacey Abrams. I completely agree. Who also has been seen, smiling with Trump. I agree. Like he to me, but that has nothing to do. Stop. Let me finish my statement, please.
Okay.
For me, yes, I could give a damn about him. Politically, he actually should sit in a corner somewhere with a dunce hat on. But what we're talking about, we need the ability to be able to, because there are different rules for different people, we need to set a due north. If it's wrong, it's wrong, even if we don't like the person. I feel like we need to be able to do that. 866-801-8255. We're going to talk less about Killer Mike. I just feel like they do too much, and I think they don't have to. And this is part of the thing that we should expect, right? Some civility, some conversations. We should be able to have conversations. People who are in law enforcement should be in the community. We should be able to engage in a way that doesn't strip people of their dignity. Period. 866-801-8255. No matter whether they're wrong politically or not. I wouldn't want Tim Scott to be taken out like that either. Wait, let me. Maybe I would. All right, let's talk about it. 866-801-8255.